Hello and welcome to another episode of my Working with Todoist series. And today I want to clear up something that came up from my early 2023 setup video that I published last week. And that is, how do I use Todoist with my calendar? And I thought that's a really good question, and it also comes to the essence of how I plan out my week. Because there's a certain amount that we've only got a limited amount of time in which to do stuff in the week. We all get the same amount of time. So I want to know that before the week starts, that in my calendar, I'm locked in sufficient time to get my critical work done, or what I consider to be my core work. Because if I don't lock that time in, I will find myself at the end of the week thinking, what happened? Why didn't I get all this critical work done? And the only way to overcome that is to block it out in your calendar so that you know before you even start the week that as long as you allow your calendar to guide you through the week, you will always have sufficient time to do all the things that you actually want to get done that week. So without further ado, let me take you into my Todoist and calendar. And I'm going to show you my demo account today so that you can see exactly how I operate with time blocking and Todoist together. And before we get to that, I'd just like to say, if you do get any value from this video, then please help me by clicking on that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and you want to get all the latest tips, tricks and news on using Todoist, then please subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's go into Todoist and calendar now, and I'll show you how I get these two working together. Okay, so here we are in my demonstration account this week, so I can play around and share with you how this works with your calendar. So let's just take today, for example. It's a quiet day. It's a Saturday. My biggest task, as you can see, it's a P1, is my record YouTube videos, which I am doing right now. And if we go to my calendar, and again, this is just a demonstration calendar, so you can see what I am doing. Now, if I go back to the previous week, I go back to today's week, you can see that I have between 9:30 and 11:30 audio visual time. So this is the time block that I have in my calendar. It's a general expression, audio visual time. I could do other things if I have a few other videos to do, if I may need to update a video in one of my courses or something. I can then just schedule it for this time. Now, to do these YouTube videos, just to record them probably takes about 90 minutes. And so that's if I'm doing two. If I'm only doing one, then it takes about maybe an hour, 45 minutes. So it does give me an extra hour or so to do other videos if I need to do them. So as you can see from my Todoist, I've got my record YouTube videos as my number one task. Going down my list, I also have to clear, which is something I do every single day, which is clear my action this day folder in my email. Now, we don't need to go into email to see that. If you want to learn more about my email system, I'll put a link in the show notes for you so you can find out how to do that. Now, this is a recurring task. It comes up every single day. Now, the thing is, like most people, I need time to do my email. I need time to do my communications. And if you look inside here, I also have call Peter to discuss Project X and arrange a meeting. Well, we'll go back to my calendar and you can see right there, I have between 5 and 6 p.m. I have an hour for communication time. Now, Saturdays, it's generally, I probably don't need an hour. In fact, most days, I generally don't need an hour for dealing with communications, but there are occasions, and I'd rather overestimate the time instead of underestimating the time. So if I do this every single day, as you can see, I do this every single day, and this is pretty much the same. I think it's 4:30 to 5:30 on my real calendar. But I still have that 1 hour. The reality is I need about an hour on average every day to deal with my communications. So in Todoist, in Todoist, I've got these 2 today. Most days I will have actually more than that. During the week, I will have more than that for communication time. But in this, just to keep things simple, I need an hour. How much time do you need in order to stay on top of your email? If you need 2 hours, then you're going to have to find 2 hours in your calendar. You don't want to stick your head in the sand and just say, oh, I've got too much email. Fine. But if you've got email that needs responses, you need time. And the only way you're going to be able to protect time in order to do it is to block it out on your calendar. And this is just something that I repeat every single day. Now, if you're new to this channel, I should point out that I live over in South Korea. And so if you look at my calendar, let's go into it next week because it's just a bit easier to see. This is everything. This is very close to what my real calendar is. Now, what you'll find is my days are split. I take my afternoons is what would probably be your evenings, and my evening times is what you would do in the afternoon. So it's just the way that I work because I'm on the other side of the world, and with the time zone difference, I need to do coaching calls late in the evening. But I have on a Wednesday, if you see here, I've got a 2-hour block. Now, Wednesdays I generally treat as my day off if I can. But if I've got a project that needs working on, then this is where I'm going to do my project work. Now, it could be that I need other time in the week also to work on my projects, but I do always have these 2 hours, or generally have all these 2 hours here in order to work on my project. So it's another 2 hours. I generally try to avoid that. I try to make that, like, if you like, rest time or reading time. But if I need it, I can use it. So going back to my calendar, if I go into my upcoming, we will see that on a Wednesday, I will have, like here, I've got a project that I'm going to be working on. So I would always schedule project work for Wednesdays. It's just something that I will always do. Generally speaking, I've got a lot of writing. Monday is generally a writing day. You'll see a lot of writing here. So I've got write this week's blog post, write podcast script. So I've got these here, which are labeled as writing. So when I go back to my calendar, I can show you that on a Monday and a Tuesday, I have 2 writing blocks for 2 hours. So what I'm not able to do on Monday, I can carry across on there. Now, if you look at this, if you just imagine that this is like a normal working day, if you take my coaching calls, let's say as meetings that you may have, so whatever job you're doing, we all have meetings, then I still have time to do my meetings, and all I'm blocking out for focused work are these 2-hour blocks right here. So I generally work in 2-hour blocks. I find that beyond 2 hours, I'm getting a bit tired. So I'm getting realistic here. I have in the past, for example, my audio visual time has been like 3 hours, but I found that was just unrealistic. My voice starts to go and I start making a lot more mistakes. So I find that 2 hours is sufficient to do most of my audio visual work. Now, I should point out that I generally record the podcast on a Sunday afternoon. That's just coming into the studio, turning on my computer and just reading out the script, because I write a script for my podcast, which is done over here. And I generally just do that. I've always done that on a Sunday. I could do it on a Saturday when I do my other audio visual time, but I've always recorded the podcast on a Sunday. And again, that actually could be classed as audio-visual time. It's just something I've always had in there. So this is how you want to be interacting Todoist with your calendar. Your calendar gives you the bigger picture view. As you can see, I've got writing time, project work, business development time, and audio-visual. So this would be like planning and looking ahead in the business. I've got my communication block right here. It's a reality of life. We have communications to deal with. You just deal with it however way you want to do it. Now, what I find is it's not the most effective or efficient way to be in and out of email all day. I prefer just to do it all in one block, and I like to leave it as late in the day as possible so I don't get caught up in email ping pong. And then now I am writing a book at the moment, so I need an additional 4 hours for writing my book. I'm also writing a little bit more on a Sunday night as well. So I get additional 6 hours a week for writing my book. But this essentially is how my calendar really operates. It tells me what the calendar's telling me, what are the type of work I'm doing. And Todoist gives me the micro level. So Todoist is giving me the actual things that I need to do. So as you can see, as I mentioned in my setup video last week, I am now using labels. I'm very, very strict on how I'm using labels. Let's just close out the filter so I don't disturb you. We've got 8, and that's it. So these correspond very much to my time blocks, my blocks in my calendar, so that I know that I've got sufficient time each week. When I do my planning, I have a sufficient time each week to do the work that matters. Now, for some of you, I know you might not have as much control over your week as I do. I'm very strict about when I have my meetings. I'm very strict about when I do my work. You may not have that luxury, and that's okay. It's perfectly okay to say, right, these are the time blocks. When you do the planning, you start off with the blocks that you need in order to get your work done. Todoist is guiding you. It's telling you how much work you've got to do. So if I go into my this week, I can see that I've got quite a lot of following up to do. I've got a big project work to do there. And there's going to be a lot more work coming in as the week starts. But I can classify my work into the types of work I do. So I have categories of my work which correspond to my labels. And it's my labels that will tell me this is what I'm using for my blocks in my calendar. So we can go into here. Sorry, I should go into there. And you see, writing is a task, is a label in Todoist. Projects is a label in Todoist. Planning is a label in Todoist, and audiovisual time is a label in Todoist. So it's very easy for me to, when I see my calendar, and say, oh, right, today or tomorrow when I'm doing my planning, when I look at it and say, oh, right, tomorrow I've got a 2-hour writing block. When I can go back into Todoist, and I can just go into and I can say, right, make sure that all my writing tasks are set up so that they correspond to the right day. That means I'm a lot less stressed because I just know I've got the time for it. I've protected the time for it. And if I don't do it, there's only one person I can blame, which is me. So there you go. That hopefully clears up how Todoist and my calendar work together. I don't like to, before anyone puts this in the comments, no, I don't like to add in my Todoist into my calendar. I don't know if I've actually got this. Oh, I do. So when I do that, if I turn on Todoist, it just, to me, it doesn't help me. It's just a long list of stuff that I have to do. That's not really helpful for me. And what I find is, like, let's just say, oh, this is a writing time. I'm going to put that in. I think we can. Can I move that? No, I always thought you could move. I think you could. Anyway, if I didn't want to do that, let's cross out that. So I don't really like to see all that. It just makes my calendar a mess. So I like to keep Todoist and my calendar separate. I mean, it's very easy for me to do this. It's, I can just see my calendar. I can see my Todoist. I can put them together because I have a big screen, and I just prefer to work that way. You may prefer to work a different way, and that's perfectly okay. But the idea is my calendar is directing the type of work I'm doing. Todoist is giving me the micro level. What needs to be done? What tasks do I have to do in those time blocks? Well, there you go. Thank you so much for watching this video. And it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Hello, thank you very much for watching my videos. Now I have something exciting to tell you about. Recently, I have developed a brand new time management system. It's a system designed to manage your time in the 21st century. The world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. In fact, it's actually changed a lot this year. And what we need now is a system, a time management system that is very easy to use, easy to maintain, so that you can spend more of your time doing the work. And that's what the time sector system is all about. It's going to change your whole belief system about the way a time management system should work, because this focuses on when you are going to do the task. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how motivated, inspired, or how urgent something is. If you don't have time to do it, it is never going to get done. And that's what this system is built around, getting your work done, so you can spend more of your time doing the things that you want to do. I hope you join me in this course. The full details of the course are in the show notes below, so please join me, and thank you very much for watching this brief video.